Ow. Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the CPRW podcast. My name's Colin. We do Colin's Punk Rock World and CPRW Records in this podcast. Today I am joined once again by Dan number 2.
Oh yeah, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going ish. I'm tired. But because I think Dan's tired as well. Because today or yesterday we went to Slam Dunk Festival, and today we are talking about it on this podcast. Yeah. It was a nice time.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it more than I was expecting to after our mixed preview episode.
Yeah, our preview when we were just like, if you'd listened to it, you would have kind of thought, why are they going? But I think start with, how was your journey there?
Journey there was actually really nice and easy. I had a really good time actually getting in. Like, no problems, no queues, no, like, apart from like the little tailback that was like sort of 3 minutes long, like just coming into the entrance, no issues. Like, it was actually super easy. Like, I've had it previous years where it was tailed back all the way past the roundabout and all the way back, but it was really, really easy to get in. And I got in just as they were opening the arena. So yeah.
Perfect timing then.
Yeah.
I made a boo-boo on our journey. Though we have to drive from where we live in Bedford to Sandy to get the train from there, rather because we've done the driving thing before, and getting out at the end takes so long sometimes. So last year I got the train from like Sandy and then changed and then got to Hatfield. So we were doing that this time, and we were waiting for the changeover spot, and a train came on our platform, which was is on the same line, but wasn't stopping in Hatfield.
Oh.
and I realized after getting on the train, we started moving, and we're like, uh-oh, this isn't going to Hatfield. And the worst thing about it was I brought some strangers on the train with me, and they,
oh no,
yeah, but basically don't follow strangers. That's the advice there. But luckily, we could get off at like Stevenage, and the train we were supposed to get on was going through to Stevenage anyway. So
that's fine,
it didn't like make us late or anything, or we got there when we were planning on getting there. It's just like, whoops.
It was almost a disaster.
It was almost a disaster, but yeah. So apologies to the people I put on the wrong train and had that 30 seconds of stress before we worked out everything's okay. But yeah, and we got there fine, and went up with like all the New Cross people and made our way, and we got held in that little holding area. Like, I guess that's before that you go into the main bit for absolutely ages for no apparent reason, because it sounded like bands had started and we were stood there. But
I think they were just sound checking bands, but I can guess why they might have held people up for quite a while when we got into the arena, because none of the bars were working.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so none of the card readers actually had connection for the first hour and a half of the festival. So they'd advertised the festival as cashless, and they didn't do cashless for the first hour and a half of a festival, so nobody could get a drink, which was quite possibly why they opened the arena late as well.
That would make sense. That's I'm assuming that's just bad luck rather than anybody's fault. It's just something that happens. I have seen on the line this morning people complaining about it, but what can you do?
Yeah.
It's just bad luck. Cashless is the future. Everything's going to be cashless soon. People need to stop moaning.
It felt a good time to be teetotal though, because me and you just went and watched the Suicide Machines instead of queuing at the bar.
Yeah, what a good way to start the day that was as well. They were so good.
But it was fantastic to see, and like from first song, seeing the lead singer just jump into the crowd and singing the songs with everyone, and like he was going like far out into the crowd and seeing like singular people singing, and then pointing the microphone at them and like grabbing them and singing a bit of it along, and like having just a whale of a time. It was like a fantastic open for the day.
The way he got in the crowd and got everyone going as well. That was before 12 o'clock. And he had a pit going, and I thought that was really, really good, like crowd management, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah,
Like to get
yeah,
everyone. Like, I thought it was really, really impressive, and I was like, later today, I'm going to see him again at New Cross. I'm really excited.
yeah. They're like sick. Like if I could afford it, I'd be there as well. Like it was incredible that they were opening, and like possibly like I'd say like they should have been like in the middle of the lineup with how well they were playing. They were
Yeah,
that good.
I think that showed the strength of that Dicky stage, though, that you had a band like the Suicide Machines opening.
Yeah,
Mad.
it was very good. Yeah, it was also really nice to just meet up with everyone and have that like it was like previous year seeing Popes of Chillytown in the morning with everyone and just like having like sort of that was more a scene band that was more the ska punk sort of scene and being able to meet up with everyone and just have a nice time for the first band of the day and then feel like almost like all the anxiety draining away as like
Yeah.
you see all your mates and you're just like, this is nice, this is
Yeah.
chill.
We're back with our people, which has been bloody lovely. Even all that I've seen like for the last week is all this rubbish about the Jubilee, and I just like fuck off. Don't care.
Yeah,
I want to be around my people now, not old people caring about old people. Yeah. So after Suicide Machines, we went to see Meet Me at the Altar,
we did.
who were fantastic.
Yeah,
I thought they're like five piece. They call themselves a girl band, so we'll call them a girl band.
Yep.
Like they are like one of like the hot things coming up in alternative music, and after seeing them, it's really clear to see why. I think.
Yeah, they blew me away. Like I sort of watched 4 songs of them, and I was like, these like I could easily see this band like becoming massive.
Yeah.
Like the songs were solid. They executed them so well and just got everyone fired up so quickly, and it was lovely to see.
Yeah, I'm assuming this was their first time over here as well, and the size of the crowd they had was fantastic.
Yeah, I was really happy for them. I've just we'll just put a pause there. I just need to pop out for a second.
Okay, I'm not editing this, so I'm going to just do a advert for Level Up because I can't be bothered to advertise. No words, Dan, you're throwing me. I can't be bothered to edit. Here's an advert for Level Up Festival. So on July the 22nd to the July the 24th, Level Up Festival 4 is happening at the New Cross Inn. It's a ska weekender put together by B Sharp Promotions, Fishlock Promotions, and El Topo Bookings. It's all at the New Cross Inn. It's 40 quid for the weekend, headlined by JB Conspiracy, Call Me Malcolm, Popes of Chillytown, Andy B in the World, Random Hand, and Sonic Boom 6. And it's just a who's who of the ska, basically. And you need to come along. Like there's also playing, I'm really feeling, hurry up, Dan. It's Filthy Militia and Till and Bones on the Friday. I've got Abracadabra, Harajan, Prize Dink Camp, Redeeman, Baldhead and the Dreads, and Fidget on the Saturday. Plus, they've got an after party with the El Topo All-Star Band, which is a bunch of chaps from Belgium who play gigs for El Topo Bookings, who basically put together a cover band. They played the last Level Up in 2019, and they were really good. So it's going to be cool to have them back. And then on the Sunday, you've got Boom Boom Raccoon, Plot 32, who are probably my new favorite ska band in the country. Lead Shot Hazard, Three Deeps Down, Codename Colin, along with Sonic Boom 6 and Random Hand. So for the 3 days of like stacked lineup, and I really can't wait. It's in July. It's like if you like ska, you should definitely make plans to come down. And Dan's still not here, so I have more filling to do. Bloody hell, Dan. So what else have we got coming up this year? We've got both booze cruises, and our next episode of the podcast is going to be a Bristol booze cruise preview, and so look out for that. Dan's back now, so I can stop filling. Thank fuck.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna re-listen to this podcast just to listen to you filling.
I am not a radio DJ. I need someone to talk to if I don't have words to read. So yeah, but
talking about Meet the Altar.
Yeah, they're gonna be huge. Did you see when they did like a little covers medley?
No, I did not.
Ah, they
I
did. I wrote down who they played. They played Jimmy Eat World Sweetness. Then they played a lit song, which I forget the name of, but the big
my worst enemy or
that's the
something.
one. Yeah, they did Newfound Glory, My Friends Over You,
Yep,
and
banger.
then they did Limp Bizkit Break Stuff like as a medley.
Oh, nice.
Which, looking at their ages, I'm going to assume most of those songs they were babies when they came out, were released.
Most definitely.
Yeah, like that's the third time I've seen Break Stuff covered this year as well,
Oh wow.
which is just silly. Um,
Um, yeah. They were fantastic. What I saw of them. Um, the only issue we were having in the morning was the fact that we quickly found out there was no. Well, it was more of my issue. So even though I said on the podcast previously to write down your schedule and stuff, didn't do that. I thought I'd be all right. I could load the Clash Finder on my phone, but a lot of people quickly realized there was no internet connection at Slam Dunk this year. So it was pretty difficult to get up the Clash Finder. It was pretty difficult to get stuff. So I took a picture of your itinerary, Emma's itinerary, and Mike Smith from Triple Sunday's itinerary, and then built my own itinerary out of those three things. I went and shortly after, I basically caught 4 songs of Meet the Altar and then tried to look for a program for like sort of 30 minutes. And ended up then catching 20 minutes of the Bronx with Mike, and they were okay.
just okay.
I I think I previously stated I'm not really into the Bronx, but they seem to have a decent crowd of people that liked it. I describe them as pop hardcore, and I'm just not into it. I think they played really well. We watched a couple of songs of them, and then I had to wander off again.
My thing with the Bronx is I can't remember if I said it in the preview. Like when I've seen them, I don't mind it, but I get bored of between every song the singer going calling me a motherfucker. He does it, I swear, between every song. I've seen Mariachi El Bronx as well, which is like their mariachi band. Which
What?
do you not know about Mariachi El Bronx?
No.
So I don't think it's the whole band, but the lead singers definitely. That they also have like a mariachi band they do. Go check it out when we're done. But yeah, I think he does it in that as well. Just come on, you motherfuckers, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it,
Yeah,
it
he did
grates on
do
me.
that.
It grates on
Um,
me.
the the thing that I think about them is there's not a lot there for me. So like they're not heavy enough for me to be like, oh god, this is heavy and I really like it. They're not catchy enough for me to be like, this is like really like sing along, and they're not technical enough to be like, this is blowing my face off, sort of thing. They're just like in the middle of all those things. So I listen to it and I go, this is okay. But like, yeah, I wouldn't uh like get super into one of their records, which is yeah, just as it is, I suppose.
Yeah. So after Meet Me at the Altar, we went and got some food. I was with Elfie Emma at this point, and I was with our buddy Craig and the vegan punks, Jess and Dan, who were just lovely people. We went and
Yeah.
got some food, and I was quite impressed with the amount of like veggie and
Yeah.
vegan. Can't talk this morning. I'm so broken. Why are we doing this now? Yeah, I was really impressed with the veggie and vegan options for food at the festival. Like it seemed to be in like one good spot, and there were massive queues. And I felt for festival food, it was reasonably priced, and it was
Yeah.
actually really nice.
Yeah. It was still expensive, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
like the portion sizes were really good for like once. What did you end up getting?
I have think 3 different points of the day I ate because I'm fat. So the first thing I got was a vegan hot dog because I saw someone else had a hot dog early in the day and I got jealous. That was really
Nice.
nice. And then I got some chips later in the day, which Andy B stole some of Andy B in the
Nice.
world. But I was chatting to him, he'd just like sneakily take a Porsche chip off my plate. But he's Andy B. I'm not going to call him out. He's Andy B. I've done it now, but I'm not doing it to his face. And then later on, there was like a Chinese style place as well that did like vegan options. So I got some
Nice.
rice and noodles, and all delicious. I don't think I spent more than £20 on food for the day. So
I think I pretty much had the same sort of thing, which was I went and got a halloumi burger, like between the Bronx and Meet Me at the Altar, and I got a margarita pizza later on in the day, and it was about the same sort of price. It was, yeah, didn't spend more than 20 quid.
yeah, which I think's like, I mean, it's a lot of money for food outside of a festival.
Oh, definitely, but like
But
in a festival, that's
yeah,
what I was expecting. I was expecting to spend about £30 on food and drink during
and
the
it
day.
was
So.
good quality. Who was I with? I was with Craig. He brought a burger from one of like the burger bars, and he was sort of saying like, this is actually a really nice burger. It's not just like a sloppy, I'm gonna feel really bad tomorrow burger.
I would have preferred that, but
Yeah, there was
the halloumi burger I got had like 4 massive pieces of halloumi that were like burger bun sized pieces of halloumi. So, and like
wow.
more hummus than I thought would be a good idea.
You
So
must have been
like, it was
so
great.
thirsty after that. Halloumi's
I
so
was.
salty.
Yeah, it was great. It
Yeah.
was fantastic.
I'm assuming being a teetotaler, you didn't worry too much about queuing for about a week for the bars.
No, I had Mike bought me a Coke,
Oh, yeah.
which then, because of the lack of internet connection, we struggled to find each other again. And eventually the Coke was passed on to you, which was then passed to me.
Yeah. They had like a tap, and Emma had her water bowl, so we were just filling it up and
Yeah.
going that approach. But I saw some of the queues for the bars and for the merch there, and I'm like, if there's nothing you want, you've just probably wasted so much time.
Yeah.
I
I didn't even go near the merch tent this time. I usually just like walk around it, but there was like such a big line that I didn't.
It was mad, but hopefully they made lots of money. So that, I mean, probably they're
Hopefully.
probably really expensive. But yeah, bands. Who did I see
Yeah.
after? Oh, I went to see Hot Water Music.
I thought you might have. Yeah. What did you think of Hot Water Music? I
We
caught a
only
couple of songs.
Yeah, we only stayed for like the first 4 or 5 songs because we've seen them a few times. They're playing Fest later in the year, so
Yeah.
But yeah, the sound was really good. They think they played one new song in the time when I saw them. They played Wayfarer, which is one of my favorite songs, so I was pleased about that. And then after that, we went over to like the Key Club stage, which is like the new bands stage, I guess.
Yeah.
And saw Pink Shift, and they were one of my favorite bands of the day.
I was really like I kind of wish I caught them. Like I really wanted to catch them. I just think it like didn't work out that way because I ended up doing the reverse of you and I caught the last couple of songs of Hot Water Music. So I caught the second half of the set. I saw them play Remedy, which was my favorite, and I really enjoyed that. And
I assume they
like,
finished with Trusty Chords as well.
yeah, they did. That was like the last one. So yeah, it was really good. Like they're a band I've never seen before, and like it was really nice to just see them. They were like sort of a perfect festival band. I wouldn't normally go out my way to go see them. So like seeing them at a festival is perfect for me because I get to see the ones I like, and I'm just happy. In the time between the Bronx and Hot Water Music, I went and saw Chunk No Captain Chunk, which is a band I would never normally see. And no, they do that sort of doom pop punk sort of thing with the like low metal chords, and they play it really well. I learned they were French as well, which
Yeah, it's the thing I know about them.
I would never have guessed because they all sing in American accents. But yeah, they're really good. They did the All Star cover, and we got to sing the All Star cover, and that was fantastic. Yeah, it was just a nice time. I I just enjoyed it and didn't take it too much seriously and enjoyed them thoroughly.
I think that's kind of what you have to do at a festival as well, isn't it? Just go check stuff out and go out, I guess go out your comfort zone and try and experience things you would normally go and see.
Yeah,
because you might as well.
I that's kind of what because I was like I'll probably just sit around the Dicky stage all day, and then I ended up wandering off loads and catching loads of stuff that I wouldn't normally see, and that was really nice for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I wouldn't normally
Wait,
see.
let me talk some more about Pink Shift first.
Oh, go.
How pink good they were. They're like 5-piece, like just they kind of cross like pop punk and like grungy elements, and like the singer's got a really powerful voice. Like a lot of the messages are just superb, and just a really really tight band. I saw Summers, he was TMing for Mum Jeans, and he was on the
Oh,
side of the stage watching them, and he looked so into it. And just they're an incredible band, and like more people need to know about Pink Shift. It was, I think, again, like Meet Me at the Alta, this was their first ever time in the UK, and they had so many people down the front like losing their stuff for them, like really really enthusiastic. And yeah, just Pink Shift were fantastic.
make
And
sure
I
of buying it a record by them because I was like stoked to see them, and then it just didn't pan out that I saw them.
Yeah,
So
just they're really good. Like, just have a bit more representation as well on the festival. They were great for it, and they weren't there as like a token thing. They're a really 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 good band. So that's just awesome to see, like Slam Dunk making steps to do that.
yeah, like I would have liked to see more female headliners and more female bands towards the end of the lineup because I felt like a lot of the female bands were right at the beginning of the day. So a lot of them also clashed with each other. So, but like they are making steps in the correct direction. I'd just like to see more of them.
Yeah, it takes time though. It's getting there.
Yeah, it is getting there. Um, so after Hot Water Music, I went and caught Punk Rock Factory. Did you?
No,
They played loads of Disney songs and I really enjoyed it.
fair enough.
It was they were very Welsh, which I didn't expect as well. And they were fantastic, good with the crowd. It was just a great time, to be honest. Like hearing them belt out like We Don't Talk About Bruno and some of the songs from Frozen was just absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed them doing the rap from Moana, You're Welcome as well. That was if the guy that was their lead singer properly had some chops on him, and it was just really good arrangements of Disney songs.
I
So
feel like this would have been lost to me. I don't know any of these songs from Disney. I'm old. I only know the old songs.
they did some of the old ones as well.
If it had done Bare Necessities, I would have been fine. But
I think they did it earlier in the set. Me and Craig got there like sort of towards the middle to the end because we didn't like the Vandals. I think we watched about one song of the Vandals. I'm sorry to tell you that, but they did the Pokemon theme as well, and that was really good.
fair, Craig would have loved that to be.
Yeah, he did. We rocked up and they started playing it, and Craig was like, "I love this."
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of people, and they were sort of saying like with Punk Rock Factory, don't get the hype.
they're just good. Like
Yeah, and like I said when we did the preview, there was like, it's a shame that they had a cover band when they could have had a band that plays originals.
I was chatting to Craig about that, and I did say that it was like I would have put them either beginning or the end, but like they were still really good, and like I don't want to downplay that they are a good band, and like making arrangements of songs that aren't traditionally punk is also a skill. Like it's not just hey, we'll just stick power chords on this. They like literally have to rewrite some of the melodies and certain bits, and like yeah, it there is a skill to it, and it is a difficult thing to do. And the other thing is like a lot of the bands playing Slam Dunk, I would say like massive because of the pop goes punk sort of compilation records. Like you've got Captain Chunk No Chunk, and one of their biggest songs is All Star by Smash Mouth. So like I think the sort of pop punk covering thing culture is very much there, and like very much a big thing.
Fair enough. You've argued them well.
They had a massive crowd as well.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt people are into it. People love it. Just for me, I'd rather see an originals band. Like
I would say they had a bigger crowd than the Vandals did.
Well, all those people are wrong. I mean, actually, no, I'm glad they were there because I had more room to enjoy myself. So
that's the clip.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously I went to see the Vandals. I spoke in the preview like how they're like the last band on my like list of bands I grew up like when I got into like punk rock that I hadn't seen. So that was like a really big bucket list thing for me. So I was super excited. I saw them. We were stood like our little meeting point for our group was just in front of the sound stage at the Dickey stage. So, and they came on. I just sort of shot forward to like right in the middle of the crowd, got a really good view. Didn't go in the pit because I'm old. And I wanted to watch and enjoy rather than get knocked around by people who are bigger than me. But yeah, and I said in the preview, like, I'm fully aware I could come away really, really disappointed of the set. It could be very hit or miss. It depends if people get it. And thankfully, it was like, for me, it was the best thing I saw all day. I was so happy watching like all of it.
I'm glad. I really am glad.
I thought they were fantastic and had, yeah, like I said afterwards to someone, like, obviously they like the sort of the 90s sort of era of punk rock where like No Effects, where they do a lot of talking between songs, and but when No Effects, it can get quite annoying and you like repetitive. It's just like, come on, crack on with it. And it doesn't find I don't find funny. Whereas the Vandals, they have more of a silliness about it, and it's childish. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a lot more good humored, I guess. It's like they're laughing at themselves rather than like just being dickheads, I guess. I mean, I enjoy No Effects, don't get me wrong, but I if I could see the Vandals 100 more times, or I can see No Effects 100 more times, I'll pick the Vandals.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like their guitarist Warren is one of the most entertaining people I've ever seen on a stage. And he was just a lot of fun. Really, really, like, he's a fantastic guitar. He actually plays guitar for Gwen Stefani's touring band as well.
Oh wow, okay.
Which I guess they know each other because like No Doubt used to cover Oi to the World, which is a Vandal song originally. Yeah. So, but yeah, so he got on like, you know, had like the scaffolding thing on the side where they had all the flags and whatnot to say Dickie's stage. He sort of got up on there at one point and like hid behind the flag, and it's just really nice. it was really stupid and really silly, but it was just good humor and good fun. So yeah, I absolutely love the Vandals, and I hope I don't have to wait another million years to see them again.
Talking about good humor and good fun, also during the Vandals, I went and caught MC Lars.
Oh, nice.
And he was so Craig came with me, and Craig was very much adamant. He was like, not a big fan of rap. I'm not sure I'll like this. And he came out and he was like, no, I really, really enjoyed this. Like, that was fantastic. He's such a showman. Like, he had a band of people from the UK who are basically a touring band that supports rappers when they come out. And he played everything we wanted to hear, and like getting to hear like Hot Topic is not punk rock, and like everyone's screaming not punk rock at him, and like, yeah, the Scar one about building a giant robot.
That's such a good song.
Absolutely fantastic. He like sort of, it's really nice to see somebody that knows and respects the culture so much that like he was like, yeah, these are all the bands I was fans of like growing up. I was like huge fan of Streetlight Manifesto, Suicide Machines, and like sort of Cancer Bats and stuff. He was like, go see these bands. I love these bands. And like seeing that sort of respect for the scene and where he was playing, he knew exactly what he was doing, who he was, and like sort of, it was like he deserved to be there fully. And it was fantastic to see that. And for me, like getting to see that sort of DIY hip hop thing was like, it was a really nice like change of pace for the day, and loved it. Absolutely great.
I've seen him a few times, like at Slam Dunk, and yeah, he's always just a lot of fun. Yeah, it's one of those like he's what's the word, like charming, I guess, in the way he performs. Yeah, just really good at what he does.
It's very genuine as well, is what I'd say.
Yeah. I had something I was going to say. It's gone from my head because I'm still very tired, but the thing's going to do its thing when it times out. So should I do another quick advert?
Yeah, you can do a quick advert.
I'll do a quick advert. So like I said, when Dan buggered off, Bristol Booze Cruise is coming up, and we're doing a preview podcast. That'll be the next episode of this CPRW podcast, and it's happening at the Exchange in Bristol on the 18th and 19th of June, and the lineup is currently Tiger's Jaw, Future Teens, Dream Nails, Nervous, Cherim, Hit Like a Girl, Burnt Tapes, I Feel Fine, The Menstrual Cramps, Hell's Ditch, Fight Milk, Fortitude Valley, Out of Love, Sleep Outside, Bob Nana, Suit Sprite, Irish Handcuffs, Weather State, Misfortune Cookie, Dangers of Love, Andrew Paley or Pally, All Better, Moonraker, Do Trips, Trophy Jump, Goodbye Blue Monday, Arguer, Say It Anyway, and Laboxy. Like they've had a lot of dropouts because of obviously like rollover from the pandemic, plus everything else that's happening in the world. Like, so economically, it's very hard for bands to get over, especially smaller bands, because financially it's a massive risk. So fair enough. Why would you take that risk? So it's not the lineup they'd hoped for, but it's still a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah.
So come along, support a load of bands, support the festival, support the venue, and we'll see you there. Yep, that's my advert, and we'll be back in a second. How do I've forgotten how you stop recording. They've changed things. Stop recording. Hello, we're back, and we're still talking about Slam Dunk Festival. The next band, which we both saw, was a Streetlight Manifesto, a band we were both very much looking forward to seeing. I feel like we stood pretty much next to each other for the set, and I turned to Dan afterwards and was like, "How was it?" And he said, "I'm not going to talk to you about it till we record." So
yep. Now I talk to you.
Now's the time. I want to hear about Dan's Streetlight feelings.
I think honestly, that was everything I ever wanted. Like, I think they're absolutely fantastic. Like the songwriting for me has always been the standout thing of Streetlight, and to see those songs performed so well, so perfectly, live in a live setting is just absolutely fantastic. Because the thing I was worried about with them, like out of all these other bands, Streetlight Manifesto aren't really a festival band, I would say. Like they more benefit from like cult crowds who sort of know what they're about, but having them come on and just start playing and just like immediately feeling the wave of those songs and just everyone sort of in the audience getting it, and it was just a lovely experience. Like I'm so glad it's taken like sort of 12 years for me to finally see them, and didn't disappoint for a single second.
I was a bit disappointed. I enjoyed them, don't get me wrong, but I mean it's one of these things where it's like they didn't play the songs I wanted them to play. But like as a band and as a group of musicians, it's ridiculous how good and how tight they are. And it was weird on that stage seeing them between, and no disrespect to either of these bands, but seeing them like between the Vandals and Pennywise. You have Streetlight, like when you're talking about skill as musicians, Streetlight are leagues ahead, I will say. And
like the amount of bands playing to a click at Slam Dunk, and like playing to essentially what is like a rehearsed set, and playing to like things that have been completely rehearsed and completely Streetlight are not playing to a click, are playing very complicated songs that are very hard to play and nailing them completely. I do agree with you. They didn't play Point Counterpoint. They didn't play Keys Be Nights, which was strange. Like, like they're the two big ones, I would say, that are on the older albums. And
I think with Keys Be Nights, the thing is, like, obviously it's a Catch-22 song originally. Yeah. And I guess they want to play Streetlight songs.
Yeah.
Which I get that one, but yeah, Point Counterpoint, I'm still not seen. And like stuff with like We Are the Few and The Big Sleep. I guess if you did, they only have like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess, and their songs are quite long, so there's only so much they can play, which I get.
They also had technical issues, so they lost 6 minutes. So they probably cut something.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it was not a song I really wanted to see, because that would be sad. My other sort of, I guess, not gripe, but the fact that they didn't do that much sort of stage banter, so every song sort of bled into the next song, and it got like, as we're all punk fans, 3-minute songs, we need breaks. And there wasn't one. I felt like there was a lack. I needed a bit of a rest sort of to really appreciate it properly. Does that make sense? But no, as a band, and they're fantastic. And next time they come over, which hopefully won't be another like 7 or 8 years, whatever it's been, I will go and see them again, because it's Streetlight Manifesto. But
as I said, like at the beginning of my thing, they are not a festival band. Like I would rather pay like 30 quid and go watch them play for like an hour 20. Like that's what I want. I want to watch loads more songs. But like that sort of window into it, and that sort of like, here are a couple of Streetlight songs, was lovely for me.
I think with them it might be like they don't do much anymore, do they? They obviously had a lot of trouble with Victory Records, and I feel like it's only festivals that have the money to attract them now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, fair play. If that's how you make your money, make your money.
They seem to play a new song though. One of those songs I completely didn't recognize.
I don't know. So, could it have been a Bandits of the Acoustic Revolution song that they've done? Like Thomas's
possibly.
Like acoustic, it's more like acoustic Streetlight, I guess. It's the way I'd describe it, but
possibly. I thought there was one, I think it was like 3 in or something, that I didn't recognize completely. So
but yeah,
there's always a possibility. New album, new tour.
Oh, if it's a new album, that'll be out in about 6 years of knowing them. They like to get it perfect, which fair enough.
Yeah.
Their art, you want it to be exactly how you envisaged it. Yeah, so who did you see after Streetlight? I think we split up after that.
I went and got food.
You went and got food.
I watched a bit of Pennywise from afar. I didn't see Brohim though, which was I don't know why not. Did you see Pennywise?
We did. We thought we caught the end, but before that, we went to see Mum Jeans.
How were Mum Jeans?
Really, really good. Like sort of, I guess, poppy emo kind of sound. Like I think it's just again another band over here for the first time, and had a really good crowd, really enthusiastic crowd. Like seemed to know the words, and like we were in Camden on a night last week, Thursday night. We were there to see the Flatliners play in the Dome in Tufnell Park, but we went to get some food in Camden beforehand, and sort of went past the Underworld where Mum Jeans were headlining.
Yeah,
and the size of the queue, like sort of went right past the World's End and like round the corner, and this was like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock sort of time.
That's like, incredible, especially if they're playing on the same night as Flatliners as well, who are sort of almost emo of themselves. So like, yeah.
So that was like, so yeah, they've had really, from the sounds of it, really good reception from coming over, and yeah, really good band, really tight, fun to watch. Like their bass player is just, I was with Mike and he described him as liquid with the way he danced. Just a really nice moment for, I think, for us, like our group, like because Summers is TMing him, and they shouted him out, and Summers just got a really massive cheer from the crowd. I don't know if it's just they were being nice, just because it's like, oh yeah, tour managers are important, or just everyone knows Summers, which is possible. That was really nice, but yeah, really, really good band, and I sort of listened to more of their music, I think, because I really enjoyed them. But yeah, then we went to see Pennywise. We caught we used the toilet. Which, you know what? Let's talk about the toilets quick before we talk about Pennywise.
Okay.
Really good, I thought, for festival toilets.
I've heard mixed reviews on the toilets.
Okay, actually. Well, the 3 cubicles I went in the whole day, would recommend.
I didn't use a single cubicle. I exclusively. This is going into so much detail. I use the urinals usually when I'm at festivals and try and avoid cubicles completely. So yeah, just didn't really have that experience, so can't really comment. But
no, so yeah. I didn't have to queue. There's only one that didn't have hand sanitizer, but we're grown-ups and we carry it with us anyway. I say grown-ups and I say Emma is a grown-up and carries with it anyway. But yeah, would recommend. 5 out of 5 on TripAdvisor for me. But yeah, Pennywise, back to the more important things. Though we were sort of joking beforehand that Pennywise, all 16 songs will sound the same. It doesn't matter. But
they'll all be Brohim.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I was expecting from the set. And
then I think we got there as they played Playing Society, which is quite one of their bigger songs. And they played one off their newest album, which I wasn't even aware they had a new album. And then they went into like Fuck Authority. They did a cover of Stand By Me, and then Brohim, obviously, to finish. And like their 5 songs, really enjoyed Pennywise. Like I think Pennywise are one of those bands where they do take a lot of like heat for all their songs sounding the same or whatever. But they're good
Still a good
songs.
sound.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like they're a
I,
good live band. Like they're not like I don't like they don't seem like they're overly rehearsed in their performance. They just come out and do it, and they're quite a real band, I suppose would be a good way of putting it. Like yeah, like what I caught of them, I enjoyed, and like I think like you say, like Streetlight aren't really a festival band. I think Pennywise
wise.
are the
Oh,
punk rock festival band.
definitely they have that down to a T, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
always good
yeah,
to sing Bro Hymn. They didn't have a really extended version of it though, which they usually seem like the worlds go on for about 5 minutes, it seems sometimes. But yeah, smashed it, I thought.
yeah, like I, I had a fantastic time. Like, I was with guys from Y Pinto and who are a band from Portsmouth, and they have an in joke of yelling "Society" at each other. So it was really nice to hear "Society" while we were eating our food. Yeah, just I've seen them before and I knew exactly what to expect. So like I went and got food, but like listened to a distance and had a great time. Like
Yeah, I
can't
think that's
complain.
the thing with Pennywise. You know what you're gonna get. It's no frills. It's just good. But
Yeah, it's very much that, and it for me it was like what you said when you said they take a lot of flack, but they are the solid solidification of that sound, that like that genre of punk rock. They've kind of like boiled it down to a T and like know exactly what their fan base wants and what to do to play it. And like their records do sound really, really similar, but like I feel like
whose doesn't?
they are, yeah, they are a band that just knows their sound, knows what their fans want, and just play it. And it's fantastic to just see them go in and see them again.
Yeah, always. Who did you see afterwards?
I went and caught a bit of the Wonder Years.
Oh, how was that? They were one on
It was
sort of.
really
I
good.
was kind of thinking about going to see, but I think one because clashes, and two that they were doing album shows, and I don't know them that well. I thought it'd be best for me to see a best of.
I, yeah, I'm not. I don't know much of the Wonder Years, but like watching them, fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, we caught about 4 songs, I think, or 3 songs, and they were all really, really good. Can't complain at all. Yeah, just thought they were a really solid pop punk band, and like I can see why they've got a huge following. Like,
Nice.
it was all really, really good.
Yeah, I've
I
always like put 'cause, like pop punk can be a bit of a dirty word, and like especially like we spoke about this before, the UK pop punk scene is just a cesspit. So, and all those people like in that really really love that band, so it always just put me off.
mm,
But yeah, when I've like listened to them when they come on like playlists or whatever, I've all gone, oh, this is all right actually. So I would like
yeah,
to check them out at some point. I probably should have done it at a festival, but I went to
I
see
feel
the
like I will buy an album by them and give them a proper listen because I really enjoyed them. But yeah, I nipped early from them and went and saw Stan Atlantic, who were one of the other female fronted bands of the day, and they were absolutely fantastic. From Australia, they like absolutely delivered. They were the band I was talking about that I got COVID and couldn't go see, and yeah, just absolutely fantastic. They were tight as anything, like everything fell into place. They got the crowd going. They had a huge crowd for the size that I thought they were, and like, yeah, just everything they played was incredible. They also did the thing that I sort of really like, which is they saw somebody getting sort of knocked about in the crowd and stopped a song, and then were like properly checking on them and like, all right, are you all right? Is everything cool? Like, are you good to go? And the person gave them a thumbs up and was fine. And they were like, cool, we'll start the song again and pretend nothing happened. And like, it was just really nice to see that sort of energy from the band where like they care about their audience and care about their fans, and it was, yeah, fantastic. They just looked stoked to be there as well.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. That's what you like to hear about in these things, like people looking after each other. And it like the band and the crowd, they're all one like family, I suppose. And everyone should look out for each other. That's really cool. So when you were doing that, I was watching the Interrupters.
Ooh, how were they?
Of the Interrupters, they were a lot of fun. Uh, They sort of mostly play through the hits, I suppose, and then they did a couple of new songs from their uh, album that's coming out in August, I think they said. Yeah, but the Interrupters, they're like the ridiculously tight. They're carrying the torch for ska punk, which I really like to see. Like they're like in the mainstream alternatives. That's the thing. Like the bigger bands in the alternative scene, they're like the one that's really taking ska punk and like getting eyes on it, which is cool. And don't know if you saw one of the posters that they're doing a UK tour in a couple of months. I think I don't think it's long.
Yeah.
But they're playing Brixton, which is just mad. They're going to have a big ska punk show at Brixton.
Yeah.
And they're taking the Skints and Barstool Preachers as well. So it's
That's
literally going to be a
fantastic.
proper like ska and reggae show rather than a ska band and then some bands the promoters put on who don't know fuck all about what to do with a ska band.
It's nice. They honestly, to me, I think I said this on the previous episode, but they are the band that will step into Rancid's shoes, and they have been stepping in very confidently and very professionally. Like they feel like that sort of replacement to me of that like sort of ska, but like sort of also oi sort of sound to them. And
Yeah.
like it's so powerful, and to see that fronted by a woman as well, it's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And their songs are so tight, and their albums are so good. And every time, like I'm on that sort of camp where I'm just like, oh, do I like the Interrupters? Okay. And then like I hear an Interrupters song and I'm like, yes, this is fucking like blowing me away. Like songs like Title Holder or She's Kerosene are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
did the thing, you know, like Real Big Fish did it for years as well, where they're like T's playing a song from the 90s. And I was like, I really wanted, for some reason I was watching them play and I really, really wanted them to play an Operation Ivy cover because
that would be cool.
That's what I fancied at the time. They didn't take my request, but they did like this thing where they're talking about the new album being on Hellcat, which is obviously part of Epitaph. Yeah. And so they started playing just like the intros for like some classic Epitaph songs. So they did The Offspring, Keep Them Separated. They did Linoleum, No Effects. They did Ruby Soho from Rancid. But then they actually, when they played like a proper whole song, they did like a reggae version of Sorrow by Bad Religion. It was so good.
God. I'm a bit annoyed I've missed that
now. So good.
That's very cool.
Because like obviously Bad Religion played in London the night before as well, didn't they? So which I didn't go to because I didn't realize it was on until quite late in the day. And I figured I probably shouldn't do all of the things. But yeah, Interrupters smashed it. It won't be long till they're headlining that stage at Slam Dunk either, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it will take long.
Not at all. But who did you see after the Interrupters?
Who did I see after the Interrupters? Good question.
Oh, I know who you saw after the. I saw because we went back to the old Key Club stage, and the Flatliners were on, and I saw Dan number 2 right on the barricade.
I did the naughty thing, being a 6'4" human being, been on the barrier. We got there early because we were like, I don't want to really miss any of Flatliners because they are one of my favorite bands. So we watched all of As December Falls and sat on the barrier waiting for Flatliners because the Key Club stage is 2 stages next to each other. So you can, while the other band is playing, you can wait nicely at the barrier for the other band. So we did that. We waited the full 30 minutes, watched all of As December Falls, another great female-fronted band, like fantastic, and from the UK as well. Just absolutely great pop punk, not playing to a click as well, which I thought was fantastic. Like they were really tight and really good at what they did, and like it was great to watch them. But yeah, I rid the barrier for all of Flatliners. My back was killing me because I'm quite an anxious human being, so I was slightly crouched over the entire time to try and give people behind me a bit more vision. So I was probably sat at like sort of 5'8" rather than my full height of 6'4".
So you're at my height.
Yeah, Flatliners came on, did Hang Your Head, and absolutely loved it. Like, knew the words to every single song. I think that was like a perfect Flatliners set list for me. Like literally just all of the stuff that's like sort of sounds a bit like the new material, but like also the old material. So it was like all of the hits. So playing Eulogy, Monumental, Carry the Banner, like, and it's just absolutely lovely to see. I kind of wish I'd seen them a couple of days ago when they were doing the full tour and playing at the Dome, but like just didn't happen. So
We were there. We left
yeah.
early. We left
Oh
early
no.
because I had work really early in the morning the next day, and we were like, well, we're gonna see them again on Saturday anyway. So, but then I've heard afterwards they played like more of some of their ska songs as well, like on the tour, and they didn't play any when I was there, and I was like, fuck's sake.
That's fantastic.
That's just bad luck, but
no,
it's the Flatliners. I'll see them again.
That's what it was. You left, and then they were like, "Good, Colin's gone. We'll play the ska ones to annoy him
now." Serve him right for one in an early night. But no, like that slam dunk, and they played, like you say, like a really good festival set of just like best ofs, and they played their new song, which is I wasn't sure on it the first time I heard it.
I really liked it live.
Yeah, but seeing it live, I've seen it live twice now, and yeah, it's grown on me.
It's so like it's got that pairs aspect where it's got like some really dark and heavy doomy chords in it, which makes me think the next Flatliners record is going to be another change of sound for them to something more powerful and quite dark almost. And like it was quite interesting hearing that song because it's got such a bright chorus, and then the verse has like these like awfully like distorted dissonant chords in it, and it's just it was really good live though. I really enjoyed it. It fit together with the rest of the set, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to play it, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to work, and no, it blew me away. It's great.
Yeah, they
were my top band of the day.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
Excellent. And then I think the next one was probably what we both agree was our worst band of the day. And when we get I'll get a bit negative. So we went over to the back to the Dickey stage for Dropkick Murphys, and you were really excited to see them.
I've never seen Dropkick. I've been listening to Dropkick since I was like tiny, so like probably since I was like 12, and I really was excited to go see them. And it was you that said to me in the morning. No, it was Paul that said to me. Paul Smith, shout out Paul Smith, always on the podcast.
Fuck that
guy. He said the set list doesn't look great for tonight, and I was like, oh, I wonder why he's saying that. And then when we were listening to them, we were like, I don't know many of these songs. It was like they played one song that was like a big well-known song, and then they played one that nobody knew.
Yeah, they played a lot of album shows, new album songs. I felt like, hang on, I'm trying to find what Paul actually said to me about
the idea behind a festival set in general is you play big hits and covers. Like it's how they work, because of the fact that like these are people that wouldn't normally go see you, and if they are coming to see you, they'll probably know your big hits, not like every like deep cut of your discography. So for them to have a good, I think they played for an hour and 10 minutes,
something like that. Yeah,
and them be doing deep cuts from the albums instead of big hits was just off. Like,
I think to give them a bit of their credit, or like they didn't have like Al Barr with them, who's like their other lead singer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that hindered on the set list a bit. So the songs where he's more heavily involved in the vocals, but also as well, the sound was awful.
Yeah.
Like where we were stood, where the sound was pretty good for most of the day. Like all you could really hear was the bass.
Yeah, there was no guitars in this set.
No, so
I couldn't hear guitar. I heard bass, bagpipes, and drums most of the time.
I don't think I even heard bagpipes, but so that was unfortunate. But yeah, it was just a bit of a disappointment, because I feel like Dropkick Murphy should be a really, really good festival band as well.
Yeah, like they come on, play like Ship It Up to Boston, Johnny, I Hardly Know You, Kiss Me, I'm Shit Faced, Going Out of Style. Like
they didn't play. Did they play anything from Going Out of Style? Not that I saw.
I don't think they did.
They didn't do anything from Sing Loud and Proud, which is my favorite of their. Again, this is us whining that the band didn't play the exact set list that I wanted it to see. I'm sure there are
But
people who really love the newer stuff, and they probably had the
yeah,
time of their lives.
yeah, and those people, it's fantastic for you to see Dropkick and that sort of thing. It's just it wasn't a festival set. Um, I can make the argument with Streetlight Manifesto, they're not a festival band, but Dropkick are a festival band. People will go see them because they're Dropkick, and they're like the big Celtic punk rock band. Like they're the one. Like the only person that's just below them is Flogging Molly. Like they kind of like completely solidified this style of music. So like for them to come on and not just play the hits was just kind of to their detriment, I thought.
Rose Tattoo was nice. I enjoyed Rose Tattoo.
Was very nice.
So finish like
like
talking
Rose
about the
Tattoo.
Murphys on a positive. Rose Tattoo was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who did you see next? Did you stay there for Sum 41?
I did stay there for Sum 41.
Okay, so we went to see Nova Twins.
Oh,
on the they headlined like the Key Club mute band stage. They were fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I can't like. I think they have had some Radio One play. From what Emma told me, I don't know if it's on like mainstream Radio One or like a late night show. But
I think
like,
they get played on the rock show kind of frequently.
Yeah, they're gonna be huge. They were so good. I messaged some people this morning like Nova Twins. Wow, I was so impressed with them.
They're fantastic. Their last album was really good as well. And like I saw them at Download Festival a couple years back, and they were absolutely fantastic and sort of blew me away with how good they are.
Yeah, like the bass player was one of my favorite people to watch for the whole day. She just had so much energy, sort of bounced it around. She looked like she was having the absolute time of her life. Like there was like even though like I think Alexis on Fire just finishing and Sum 41 were just starting, and they still had a really good crowd, which was cool to see. But like if you don't know them yet, you soon will. I think they're that kind of band. Like like I only went because Emma fancied going to see them because she really didn't want to go see Sum 41. I thought, well, I'll come along with you just because I like finding each other at the end, and don't want to leave her on her own because it was getting darker, and it's a slam dunk after all. So yeah, but yeah, they were really good. I'm glad I went to go see them, and you should all check them out. They've got a new album coming out called Supernova. They played a new song off that. It took me a good while to get the name Supernova, forgetting I was watching a band called Nova Twins.
That's a good name for an album.
Yeah, fair play. But yeah, and then we made our way back to Sum 41, and it was absolutely rammed.
Sum 41 was very busy, and honestly, fantastic. Like really good. They played. I think it's because they're doing a tour, which is the Does This Look Infected All Killer No Filler tour. But they played the best Sum 41 songs. They came on and did Motivation immediately. And like, yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Like, I really enjoyed everything they played. And then like they did like a couple of like show panning. They played a Queen cover, which because it was Jubilee weekend, we're gonna let slide.
The Vandals also did a Queen cover, just so you know.
I know, it's their biggest song. Yeah, like it was fantastic just hearing those songs and getting to sing them with everyone in the audience. It was one of those bands where it's just like kind of cathartic that everyone is singing like the lyrics to Flat Lip or In Too Deep or a Hell Song, and like it was lovely. Like I wasn't considering going and seeing them at Ali Pali, and I'm now considering that I might actually just make the trip for them because I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, so when we got back, obviously it was so busy, we planned to go sort of meet everyone back where we all were. Couldn't get anywhere near it. So we were like kind of we were to the side of it, obviously, but behind the sound stage bit, like the tent, was how far back we were. It was like, so you we didn't really see, couldn't see much, which is a shame. I think that's part of the problem of having just like that one main headliner playing and then being the only band playing.
Yeah,
everyone was there. So like, if you got there late, then but yeah, what I could hear and like the sound sounded really good. It sounded like because I've always been a bit. That's my first time seeing them, and I've always been a put off like Derek's voice. Like, does it hold up live? Because I think he might have a Dexter Holland problem because Dexter Holland's voice is awful. But he was really good, really good.
It's usually the problem with unique vocalists where they have like a weird range, so it translates really well in recording and then doesn't live. But yeah, he was fantastic.
Everyone seemed to love him, and like from what I could see, I was really impressed, and I'm glad I got to see them kind of because they're a band I wouldn't like. I'm not going to go to Ali Pali, but one because I hate Ali Pali, but it's so far. It's so much walking up a hill. Yeah, like it seemed like they smashed it. What I thought was really cool for them, like getting to play on like a proper punk rock stage, which I don't feel like they get to do that often anymore.
Like the set was very punk rock as well. It was like sort of loads of old material, a couple of new songs which were good ones, and like it was fantastic.
I was like I recognized I've probably only listened to like All Killer No Filler and Does This Look Infected, so that tour is really catered towards me, and I'm still not going to go. But
they are the best albums.
I did recognize quite a few songs, like which I was quite pleased about.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had like a huge devil thing that would been behind the stage the whole time, and it was like huge and very cool to like have a set piece. They had flamethrowers and the whole light show, and like it was a very polished set, and it was really good. And they played their set, and no encore, no nothing, just like played out all the ones we wanted to hear, and then went, and it was lovely. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Like it was good. Like a band of Sum 41 size playing Slam Dunk as well is really cool.
Yeah,
because they're like main stage Reading kind of size, aren't they? Like late in the day, main stage Reading as well.
I think they would be like second from headlining, if not headlining at Download. Like, they're absolutely fantastic.
There's a hell of a get for the Slam Dunk organizers. So just quickly, we'll talk about how was your journey home? Was it as bad as mine?
So I left at 10:10, like literally Slam Dunk finished. I got home probably at 1:45, and considering the journey is an hour long, it's not good.
Was it getting out the car park?
I got stuck in a queue of traffic that seemed to go on forever, and I let some people leave before I went, and still took at least like an hour and 1.25 to get out of the car park. It was good because I had my music on and I was belting some ons in, probably annoying everyone else in the queue. But
fair play.
I went with the expectation it was going to take me at least 2 hours to get out, and it took me an hour and a half or an hour and a quarter. So
not too bad.
I think it was better. But, yeah.
So what time did you say you get back again? 12:30, 1:45.
Yeah.
So not that long after us.
Ah.
And we got public transport. So bear in mind, it's Hatfield and we live in Bedford. So as a drive, it's about 50 minutes.
Okay.
On the train, it should take the whole journey like maybe an hour and a half with like changeovers and whatnot. So we left like after Sum 41, sort of walked with the whole like mass of people really slowly towards the trains. You get the odd idiot who tries to fucking weave their way through and just holds up everyone. Don't get it and are selfish. So we got to the train station, got on our train. It was like a bit late, and then we maybe on the train about 4 minutes, and then it stopped outside of the next station for ages. And then we missed our connecting train, or eventually we got home about 12:30. So we were nearly so over 2 hours after Sum 41 finished. And bear in mind, Hatfield is very local towards us. It was awful. We were like, we'll be home by midnight easy. Because I'd done the same journey the year before and it was fine. And we got on the right trains this time. I didn't steer anyone the wrong way.
Almost did though.
Almost. No. I did laugh. We're going towards this obviously massive crowd of people. So we were like just approaching the station. There was like a steward lady there, And she was going like for the trains going back to London for King's Cross. Oh, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I was thinking, don't tell a big crowd of people you've only got 2 minutes. You're going to
Yeah,
incite like a stampede. It's going to get
it's-
dangerous. What are you doing?
yeah.
But luckily, everyone was too drunk to run. But
So they just fell over.
yeah, so our journey was a nightmare, and I feel really tired today, and I should feel a lot more rested. But hey ho.
Yeah.
But
I think my main criticisms of Slam Dunk are still the same things, which are there was no internet connection and they didn't give out physical programs this year. So
yeah, that was weird.
it was just weird. Also, they didn't do wristbands, which meant re-entry was not a thing. I think I didn't even attempt to like leave and re-enter because like you saw me, I was wearing 3 jackets
Yeah.
basically because I thought it would be freezing cold and wet. So I was just too warm all day.
It was actually a really like the weather, like because it was supposed to be a horrible day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like I carried around a my waterproof in my pocket the whole day, and yeah, it was actually really. It wasn't didn't get to like I was just basically in shorts and t-shirt the whole day, like when the sun was out, and there was never a point where I was too hot or too cold. Emma was with me, so I had grown up supervision, so I had sun cream on because God bless Emma.
Up.
Yeah, and just got warmer probably.
A little bit.
But yeah, overall, Slam Dunk, bloody nice day out. I'll probably go again.
Yeah, I think I'm going next year. Depending on the lineup, of course. But like, yeah, had a lovely time. Like, can't complain other than the things I can complain about. But they were more logistical issues rather than problems with the bands. Like it was more like if they could sort the internet connection, because I remember previous year it wasn't too bad.
I think there are less people there though.
I know that a lot of the drive on the environment and stuff, but if there was a place we could pick up some physical programs if we really needed them, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, there was like a it was in the middle of the festival, like a massive poster with the map on it that Emma took a photo of.
And they also had a QR code to try and get to the Clash Finder, which you couldn't use because there was no internet connection.
They did say something about like there's going to be a Wi-Fi hotspots around, but I don't know where they were. I also didn't really try. So
but it was a lovely time. Saw plenty of friends.
Yeah. Just quickly before this, because we're like 2 minutes before we should wrap up in that time rather than doing a random. So I saw a thing on the old Facebook this morning of like they're saying thanks for like Slam Dunk sort of said thanks for a great festival or whatever, and someone on it complained about the next year they need to do something about the positions of the stage with how and then like with the sun being behind them.
That comment
and it was like, just
why don't you just bring sunglasses?
Yeah, and it was just the most like of all the things in the world to moan about. It just made me laugh so much, and I enjoyed that. So thank you to that lady for that ridiculousness.
The same comment she had also said, "We need more English people on the bars," and I was like, "Oh no, no!"
That was not good, was it? I was
served by English people whenever I went to the bars. This woman apparently was only served. I don't.
It's just
yeah.
There's like, of all the things to complain about, the position of the sun should not be one. I just thought, wow, I was like, Nicky stage was fine. Yeah, that just made me laugh so much this morning.
It was good.
Cool. Yeah, so we've got a minute and a half. So
right.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And like we had a lot of fun at Slam Dunk, and we're both going to be at Bristol Booze Cruise in a couple of weeks. So if you see us and you're going, I hope you're going, because it'd be nice to see lots of friendly faces there, because that's what festivals are all about, really. It's like the bands are good, but it's really all about hanging with your friends who you don't get to see all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for listening. And if you went to Slam Dunk, hope you had a nice time. Tell us who your favorite bands are, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening again. Bye.
Bye.
How do I stop recording? Stop.